response planning. This is important thing. I'll explain to you with a quick example here. So the project is very simple. We need to stand on the edge of the cliff. So I took this project because I did not take an IT project because I do want you to understand the concept, and then you can go and then apply this framework into any project, not just IT but any project. So your project is very simple. You need to stand at the edge of the cliff, and then the cliff, as you see here, it's very rough, and then it's also windy. You can see this. Somebody is pushing it. Don't think that it's a manager is pushing. It's a wind is pushing. So you need to stand there, and then the wind might come and then you might fall down. And then your client says that you need to stand on the edge of the cliff, and then if you stand successfully, you would get 1,000 rupees per day. You come to cliff 8 o'clock in the morning, stand till 5 o'clock, get the 1,000 rupees, and then go home. That's the project. And if you are not successful, one thing is you will get injured, or also it might so happen that the person also might die. And second one is obviously you are not going to get that money of 1,000 rupees. Let's look at what are the different strategies which this person is going to use. First thing is you might even say that my life is more worth than 1,000 rupees, so I will not even do this. This is the however, this is also called as a limit, but however this is not the right thing to do, because you will not earn any money. Suppose if you need to let's say your family is dependent on you to make sure that you get the 1,000 rupees, and then they might be waiting for you. So this is not the right thing. The second one is it's basically you see something, and then you do not want to do this because it's very high risky thing. Second one is the mitigate one. This is the most sensible thing. So in mitigate, what happens is, as you can see here, you can see some net here. So you would spend some 500 rupees and then or even 2,000 rupees and then buy a net, because you need to do this for a month, let's say. You would buy a net and then you could keep it there. And then what happens is, if you fall down, nothing would happen because the net is going to save you. However, I want to caution you saying that this is only going to reduce the impact, not the probability of falling down. However, mitigation can also can also be used to reduce the probability. Again, in your office you would have seen something called fire extinguishers, right? They would not reduce the probability, but they would reduce the impact. However, if you have something called fire resistant furniture, let's say fire resisting wall, I'm not sure if it is existing. I'm aware that there is a fire resistance wood. So if you buy that, then what happens is the probability of your office building or the house catching fire is very less. So you are going to reduce the probability there. So mitigation, as I said, it's going to either reduce the probability or the impact. Next one is transfer. This is kind of an easiest one. What you do is you would call a vendor and then say that I will pay you 750 rupees. You stand for me, and then you would take the 1,000 rupees from your client and pay 750 rupees to the vendor, and then you would go and then enjoy with the remaining 250 rupees. So that is the transfer. Only thing here is, instead of getting 1,000 rupees, you are only getting 250 rupees, but you are kind of minimizing the risks or impact rather. So accept is you do not do anything, and then you just go and stand there. The thing is, you are not spending money for the net, and you are also not spending money which you would otherwise give to the vendor. You just go and stand. You would either get 1,000 rupees or you would fall down and say that that's the end of the person. So these are the 4 categories. To make sure that you remember these things, there is a nice word called ACAT. I also said CAT as an example. I believe it's going to be really easy for you to remember. So ACAT stands for avoid, control, accept, and then transfer. Control is very similar to mitigate. So there are 2 other aspects which I would like to touch. The one is acceptance itself. There are 2 things. One is passive acceptance, which the person did earlier, did not do anything. And second one is active acceptance. And then you go on and do something called contingency planning. In your project planning, you would allocate let's say 20% of the money in case any risk gets materialized and no use this money. That's the contingency planning. So this is the update risk register. Unfortunately, because of lack of time, I'm not going to spend much here. But you can, if you're interested, I can share you the PPT. You can go through this particular thing. However, just have a quick glance at the headings. So the risk event priority, whether I need to do it today or tomorrow. Who is going to really look at as the risk owner? Here it's a project manager. And then what kind of category of the risk is external and internal? And then what kind of strategy that I need to put? And contingency reserve in case it is required. What is the money that I need to spend? And what kind of triggers and the secondary risks. So we need to really remember, you and then I can sleep, but the risk would never sleep. It is always existing in the project. It might occur at any point of time, so that you just need to remember it. Question number 3 for you. Mitigation as